dwarven vaboragas fina vagabellafak. Dindarisa saradurva den wimedwa. Nasun kalanovru.
Atrust Vala, stranger. You must be the Grey Warden we heard about. I'm Cora, your hostess. How may I serve you? So you come. I guess you're not asking for anything official, or you'd be at the Shaperate. But I can certainly give you a mole's eye view. It's the Bureau of all the Shapers in Orzammar, led by the Shaper of Memories. If you're from the surface, I guess you'd call them scholars. They keep all of our records. You got questions about Orzammar's history, and don't mind answers in words as long as your leg, that's the place to go. He'd be in the Diamond Quarter. Pardon, the Nobles District. Upstairs from here, however you call it. The Nobles stay upstairs, except when they're slumming. You'll find the Assembly there, the Palace, the Shaperate, and down from here is just Dust Town or the mines, so my recommendation is avoid. It's not part of the city, just some old tunnels where the Castlists build their nest. No one goes there if they can help. But if you want fun, your best bet is the Proving. It's a chance for all the best fighters in Orzammar to test their... With 52 types of ale, 17 types of mead, and a dozen imported wines, we should be able to serve your needs. Someone's feeling generous. This, my friend, is the Paragon of Ales. The best your money can buy.
I'm afraid to walk the commons alone at night. Those Cardiff...
There's an ale out there with my name on it.
Like an ale's 3 silvers a tumbler.
They're everywhere! I can't... What? Get away! You'll change like the rest! Monsters hidden in all my friends! They follow you. Once you are in the story, they possess you. See? I found copies. All from the same Take them! I won't disappear chasing a lie! I won't!
Sit down. Have a drink.
Sure. Lord Dennick Helmy, honored Desher of the Orzammar Assembly, and terrible disappointment to my esteemed mother, who doesn't like me. You understand what I'm saying, right? On the surface, there are no castes, and it works fine. Am I right, Warden? You don't get far as the youngest and most outspoken member of the Assembly. I heard there was a Grey Warden in town. No offense, but you kind of stand out. But there are those like you who see this with... Well, I've taken the time to actually talk. You know, most smiths and tavern keeps would make decent deshers if we gave them a chance and a seat in the Assembly. Orzammar is so mired in tradition, no one bothers asking if the castes are even necessary. Me and 79 other fine, upstanding examples of how someone who's born into every privilege, they're not fond of my views on equality. I doubt either candidate has been outside the Diamond Quarter in his life. But look, Prince Balin's brilliant, I'll give him that, and subtle as sin. But I don't think anything in Orzammar matters more to him than winning. Badly. Oh, you're serious? Well, it's simple, I guess. The king and elected deshers of the Assembly are at the top. Then it's the nobles. Then the warriors and all the craftsmen. At the bottom are servants. The casteless and criminals are below even that. Your caste is determined by that of your same-sex parent. And that's where you stay your whole life, whatever your skill. As you wish.
Topsiders? Good. Get some outside gold in here. Calm people down. Make them think we should open the gates for good. The more cracks in the old way, the better. That's what Balin stands for. Not your business, but I see where the gold is. He's the traditional pick, yet he wants a new way, whether some like it or not. Just as many say Harrowmont. Neither are paragons, and the scales being equal, I go with the promise of more trade. Can't find ore without splitting some stone. The Assembly has done us a favor. They've shown just how loose the sand is under our feet. It opens people to change. Orzammar will decide what we can or can't be. Blight may be imminent on the... There will be topsiders left for trade. There's no end to you. I'll take your gold.
See that fight? In the old days, those men would have been told to
Orzammar
join the
welcomes
Legion of
you.
the Dead.
Maker's blessing on you, sister. I'm Brother Burkle of the Red Cliff Chantry, returned to my ancestors' land to spread the chant of light. I'm petitioning to open a chantry in Orzammar. The Shaper controls changes in Orzammar's structure and society. I need the Shaper of Memory's permission to open a prayer meeting. Oh, I can see the Maker's hand.
If this chantry could help just one person as much as it helped me, it's worth any trouble.
Please let me know as soon as you've heard anything.
It has become very close with the other Grey Warden.
Yes. I suppose I have at that.
I find this difficult to comprehend. It is whiny and weak and constantly laughing.
Then I guess a romance between you and I is completely out of the question.
And the attempts at humor, I cannot understand how it is endured.
Well, maybe you should
day to
ask
you.
her why she likes me so much instead of bothering me with it.
It has a loud mouth. Why its head has not been crushed already is hard to imagine.
Or maybe you just happen to figure she likes me a lot more than you.
Don't be foolish.
Yes, I thought so. Just watch your step, or I'm totally telling.
I'm going to stand over here now.
One day the Paragon Branco will return. Oh, and on that day.
should have stuck to common nugs. I've gone and lost them too.
Common nugs? I don't know.
No way I'm going back to that supplier at Dust Town. Guess I'm shutting it down. Good on you, stranger.
Excuse me, do you have a moment? You look like you're not from around here. Oh, wonderful! I've been trying forever to find someone who... I don't suppose you've heard of something called the Circle? I've been trying to reach someone there for years. I've sent missives. I want to know if they would accept me for study. No dwarf has ever studied at the Circle of Magi. I guess you never read First Enchanter Capelyn's treatise concerning dwarf. He tested dwarfs from 20 bloodlines. The Circle speculates that lyrium in the stone shields us from spiritual influences, and over time made us immune to them. I want to go to this. I don't want to do magic. No dwarf can cast spells, but it would be a valuable exchange. Orzammar would learn of one of the great... And the Circle gains direct access to our knowledge of lyrium smithing. That would be... Tell them I've already begun reading the Tevinter Imperium.
She's so enthusiastic.
The more cracks in the old way, the better. Not your business, but just as many say, the Assembly has done us a favor. There will be topsiders left for...
Maker's blessing on you, sister. Ah, it's a... I'm petitioning to open a chantry in Orzammar. I need the Shaper of Memory's permission to...
If...
Please...
As you wish.
Pigeon crap.
Of all the...
Yes.
Yes.
Blasted.
Indeed.
No way I'm going back to that supplier in Dust Town.
Excuse me, do you have a moment?
Greetings, and wow, there are a lot of you. And I've never seen one of those before. The thing... What was I saying? Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't notice. Most people don't anymore. I had a little incident a few years back. Too much time with the raw lyrium ore, you know. I cut myself and the dust got straight in the blood. Except when forging, then I'm straight as an arrow. Best work I've ever seen. Look around the shop. See for yourself. Weak surfaces like you touch the raw ore, and you'll bleed from your eyeballs in hours. Even surface, only not too much and not every day, and not breathing the dust and not direct in the blood. Ancestors' own bad luck. Right.
You look like you're not from around here. Oh, I've been trying... I don't suppose you've heard of something called the Circle? Oh, I've never met an actual mage. Is it true?
Don't let the glamour fool you, child. Wielding magic is a dangerous occupation, and a great responsibility.
I've been trying to reach someone there for years. I've sent missives with every... I want to know if they would accept me for study. That would be... Tell them I've already begun reading. Did you know?
She's so enthusiastic.
Oh, I'll go pack my bags right now.
What's this? I'm sorry, but I cannot allow you past the front. And I've heard nothing of any new patrols scheduled to leave today.
Don't let the comm fool you.
Either we finally have the edge, which I doubt, or the beasts are building up numbers for the next attack.
The surface? But I thought the vermin never...
Except during blights. Ancestors save us if that's what's happening. What anyone knows? She went out there with her...
You don't think maybe she's still there, Commander?
She is a paragon, after all.
And now she's an ancestor. No one lasts 2 years in the tunnels. Of course not. Down here, you're bound to run into giant spiders, Just can't get enough of our clammy mine air. Of course not. Ugly beasts they are. Walk on 2 legs, but they have the head of a worm and hunt in packs. Watch out. They're not a few outposts. Legion of the Dead, mostly, fools that they are. Some scavenger types. It's an independent company of soldiers. They accept no command but their own. Anyone who can bear arms can join, no matter his crimes, or sanity. They hold a funeral when they join, and swear their only goal is a glorious death. Into the deep roads? Orzammar can't afford to lose its citizens or honored guests on casual visits to the deeps. Just can't get enough of our clammy mine air, can you? Did you need something?
Go on, I'm out of the nug game. Got nothing to sell. I trust Vala, my nug wrangling friend. You're the best wrangler I've ever seen. But there's more out there.
I trust Vala. Good day to you.
Hello, how can I... It's you! Oh, please tell me what they said. How can that be? There's always a circle in every human nation. All the books agree. But I'm a smith. I'll go right now. I'll do... Thank you for...
I heard the Dace family cut off one of its branches because a daughter went to the surface and married an elf.
You have come at a difficult time. Orzammar is ailing for want of a king.
News of the hour. Sorry, can't talk. Cryer's work is never done.
It's times like this we really need a paragon.
Ooh, shiny. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Ooh, shiny.
Most kind.
I've watched a lot of humans in my time. It should be aware that I've decided that it is not much like any of them. Oh, it's not just that. Well, surely it must come from some superior lineage, yes? Some breed of flesh creature that has decided to elevate its genetic stock above, then that must be it. The humans have always spoken about elves being inferior. I would appreciate if it didn't spread around that I said anything. Humans might start to get the wrong idea. They might start thinking their race is not completely hopeless. Now, let us crush something into a fine paste before it's...
These are the personal apartments of High General Lord Harrowmont. No visitors are allowed at this time.
I heard there was a Grey Warden here. I am Dulin Forrender. Word is spreading that the surface may suffer a blight. It is shameful we are not in a better position to help. In an ordinary time, Lord Harrowmont... Unfortunately, we've already caught more than one of Balin's spies approaching him, so I'm afraid I won't be able to take your word. If you want to speak to Harrowmont, you will need to prove he can trust you. That's a generous offer. If you mean it, the Deshers take it very seriously. And unfortunately, Balin found some way to blackmail or intimidate House Harrowmont's best fighters into stepping down. That would be... If you wish to show your loyalty, Balin would never work with anyone who humiliated him in that way. Harrowmont would have no fear of meeting with you then. Excellent. The key fighters we lost, you can look for them in the fight if you need to find me again.
If you're looking for Lord Dulin Forrender...
These are the personal apartments of High General Lord Harrowmont. No visitors are allowed at this time.
This should be easy enough. As you wish. This
has dragged on too long. It's an insult to King Endrin's memory. This has dragged on too long. It's an insult to King Endrin's memory.
A new offensive is required. Sorry, can't talk. Crier's work is never done.
On it.
It's good to see the Grey Wardens know the rightful king in Orzammar.
You love Alistair. I've seen you together. I'd have to be blind, deaf, but you've said such things to me. Were there lies? Have you been playing with my feelings? What about Alistair then? What are you doing to him? He adores you. I am sorry I had to force this on you. I couldn't stand by any longer wondering if I meant anything to you. And I believe you. We should... It is so strange, harsh, yet beautiful. And have you seen this?
Right. Right.
Good on you, Warden. You caught them in the act. I guess desperate times drive people to strange things.
As you wish.
Thanks again, Warden.
This should be easy enough.
No one enters the prince's estate without an invitation.
Greetings.
The prince values your support.
Warden, welcome. It is always a blessing. I am Vartak Gavorn, top advisor to our good Prince Balin. What news do you bring? It would be hard not to notice the Grey Warden and her eclectic. I hear you seek the aid of Orzamar's finest. Yes, the treaty. I've seen it in the Shaper's Light. Now the difficulty is that the treaty only compels our king, and we are sadly lacking one of those right now. My prince is the rightful king, but a disappointing number of lords back the upstart harem. If you show your support for Prince Balin, he might be able to assist with your requests. You must understand, Haremont hides behind his good reputation while sending spies, and it's been like a knife in the heart for Balin to see so many of his father's men stand with the usurper. That hurts worst of all. That Haremont would take advantage of the dying king's delirium to... After that, you understand, however reputable that stranger might be. Would you be willing? Paramount has engaged in a campaign of... But if a neutral party, a stranger, were to approach certain key members for...
Irrefutable evidence.
I'm certain my Lord Prince would show his gratitude. Paramount promised the same portion of his estate to two different Deshers, Lady Dace and Lord Helmy. Oh, excuse me, two assembly members. Desher... Paramount can't possibly grant it to both of them. But they won't find out until after. I have copies of the promissory notes Paramount gave each of them. Once they see those, they should both reconsider their votes. That's not important. If they ask, say you found them while searching the Shaper's libraries for your tree. Normally, the Shapers would... They are the scholars who manage our laws, history. Unfortunately, the Shaper of Memories is the most important among them. And his grandfather was Lord... Obviously, we cannot expect him to offer an unbiased opinion. I guess I can't expect... The Shaper is biased. And if you want Prince... Remember.
The assembly is in
Let's get
session.
started.
Enter quietly if you wish to observe.
Your mind has gone to dust if you think we would pass such a writ. Half our houses would go broke without the service trade.
The proposal is only effective until we have a king to ensure we are respected by the surfacers.
Leaving you conveniently positioned to take over all contracts. I'll see your head on a pike first.
Deshers, lords and ladies of the Assembly. I've already doubled the guard to prevent violence. Must I summon more?
Steward Bandalore, Balin's sympathizers are tying our hands with trivialities. They may as well open us to the sky.
I suggest we put the matter to a vote.
And I suggest you have a taste of my family's mace.
Enough! The Assembly... Stone-forsaken fool. I'm sorry. This is the Assembly of the Clans. Only Deshers and occasional guests of state are allowed in. Forgive me. I am so... Welcome to Orzammar. Respect for your role is great, but you won't receive a proper hearing until we have a king on the throne. I must admit, Warden, I am at a loss myself. It lies with Prince Balin or Lord Har... I only wish there would... Warden, I'm afraid the Assembly is still locked in debate. What can I do? At this point, it's still up in the air. Warden, I'm afraid the Assembly is still locked in debate. What can I do for you? Only members of the noblest houses are eligible. As steward, I am a non-voting member. I'm not permitted to voice opinions about the vote, although I am forming some about our members. I must admit, Warden, I am at a loss myself. It lies with Prince Balin. I only wish there was more.
As you wish. On it.
Thief! Who would dare take from the... Warden, I'm outraged. A thief in the Shaperate. What have we been reduced? I did. He was bald, with the most garish brand across his head. He's probably in the...
Are you with that warrior girl who's always here? Oh, pardon me. Not that I could really help. I, don't know the libraries very well. I'm just doing some research. I was looking for something about the Ortan Tig. It was lost during the last Blight. They were a noble house once, descended from the Paragon Ortan, who composed the grand epic of the Seven Brothers and the Ortonics. My mother's family believes they were descended from Kalana Ortan, who was training in Orzammar when the Tig fell. I'm even named for the house, Orta. Unfortunately, any records would be buried in the Tig's ruins, somewhere in the deep roads. You're from the surface. What do you know? There aren't even any expeditions. Otherwise, you need special permission from the Assembly. A Grey Warden? I hear Prince Balin and Lord Harrowmont have both been sending... Yes, if you can find the if you could.
I hope you find what you're looking for.
When I last walked this hall, Endrin was king, and the memories often speak of the swiftness with which change overtakes us. I apologize, Warden. I should not burden a stranger with such thoughts. I am Zebor, the Shaper of... The Shaperate guards Orzamar's knowledge. We have preserved in Lyrium all of the records of Dwarven history. The memories record all. They are how we know to which family a child owes life, how we trace lost Tigs. They ensure we forget nothing of our past, good or bad. That is especially for one so new to our city. I thought so. My answer to Brother Burkle hasn't changed. On what basis would you have me insult the ancestors and overturn 2,000 years of tradition? What sort of charities do you mean? Traditionally, that is their extended family's responsibility. Very well, he may hold a... At least the words would come from one of our own. Now, is there anything more? We were a great empire once. We traded with your Tevinter Imperium, and our land stretched as far in the deep roads as theirs did above. But we lost too many battles. We lost our golems, and we lost our territory. Now the Empire is simply ruined tunnel. The Paragon Caridon, a smith of unsurpassed genius, invented the golems. One golem is worth a dozen dwarves in battle, but Caridon's Tig is far into the deep. When it fell, we lost his secret to creating golems. There are books about it along these walls. Yes. We have only a few dozen left in Orzammar. Where did you find it? Every golem is precious.
I'd sooner jump into a pit of lava.
Unfortunate. Was there anything else? I must tell the rest of the Shaperate about this discovery. At the other side of... They sealed the... Kal Sharok is the only other city to outlast the Blight. We only rediscovered them recently, and they still haven't forgiven us. The when it fell, we lost his secret to creating They are to us what a colony is to surfacers. At the other... Kal Sharok is the only other city to outlast the Blight. We only... Ah, you return, Warden. Is there... These are Harrowmont lands promised here. But these are not the deals we approved at the Shaperate. Where did you get these? Whom are you protecting? It is a crime against the Shaperate to falsify legal documents. Not entirely. There were 2 promised deals, but their terms differed significantly from what is presented here. It appears the scripter altered the dates and locations of the agreements to make them identical. He is a kinsman, yes. If you count to the 6th degree of remove, I'm related to every noble lineage still represented in Orzammar. I can even trace my descendant directly to House Saigmund, which lost its Tig to the Darkspawn 13 generations ago. The Shaperate do not vote. We simply record history as it happens. The Gavorn family is a minor one. Her brother died. Vartag Gavorn is on record asking the Assembly to bar Harrowmont from King Endrin's sick room. He is a vocal supporter of Prince Balin. The prince consulted me before his father died. He wanted to know about King Bimo. I told him Bimo made many changes during his rule. The Assembly Bimo declared that, in times of war, the warrior caste answered directly to the king, and all voting was suspended. Balin seemed quite interested. You are an outsider, Warden, but not outside the law.
Tell me.
This should be easy enough.
Balin is the voice of change and defense. Lord Harrow... and ruin.
What do you want? Ah, I suppose you're the Grey Warden everyone's talking about. It's fascinating the surface has an entire order dedicated to fighting Darkspawn. Down here, but I'm sure it's more difficult on the surface. It must be much harder to find them. Now, was that an attempt to cozen me into review? It's so hard to tell with you surface types. You're all so charmingly direct and artless. Yes, I am a member of the Assembly, a Desher. If you're asking me where my vote lies, I'm forbidden to tell until the stones are cast. Well, where did you get these? Never mind. It is true enough, but there's nothing This deal was made on behalf of our entire house. Only my father can revoke it. He is leading a Deep Roads expedition. It's unlikely he'll be back before the election, but perhaps this vote is important enough for you to brave the tunnels to tell him? The Dace family would be in your debt. He was searching. He left me with this map. I'll give you a pass. Does that mean you'll go? So Balin's...
Lord Balin is, bad. The public has a right to know.
You have come at a difficult time.
2 years tomorrow.
For want of a king.
By all the holy sodding ancestors, how can you people just ignore that?
Branka didn't go alone, Ogren. She took the whole house, everybody but you. So just get over to Tapster's and drown yourself already. You know as well as I do that's how this always ends.
You think I'm afraid of some cub warrior who's barely off the teat? Ha!
You lift a weapon or attack a single citizen in Orzammar, and you're stripped of your caste and exiled. Even you can't have forgotten that. Get out of here before I call a guardsman. Can you believe it? Ogren's barely even warrior caste anymore, and he just clomps in here like he's entitled. Rescue mission after Branka. They were the highway system of our old empire. We lost them to... Ogren's a drunken wretch. He comes up here 2-3 times a week, hounding... Gets quite violent about it. I'd be scared if they hadn't practically gelded him after he killed young Lord Mino. Well, he killed Lord Mino's youngest... It was a huge scandal. Ogren should have been executed, but he'd won honors in the Deep Roads. Instead, they stripped him of all weapons and forbid him from engaging in fights within city limits. If he breaks the decree, he'll be exiled. She's still his wife, isn't she? even if she took their entire house into the deep roads and abandoned him. Well, before she was a paragon, she was just a smith, and Oghren was one of the best warriors of his generation. She invented a smokeless fuel that let the smith caste increase their output by nearly a third. Deaths from the Black Lung also dropped. The Assembly said she had the favor of the ancestors and declared her a paragon. They moved Branka, Oghren, and all their relatives to the noble caste and founded a new house in her name. Chasing some old treasure. She said she never asked to found a house, that she didn't care about politics, and that we were too She actually threatened anyone who said they'd come after her. It's been 2 years since Branka left. No one has ever... The search teams who went out found nothing, but Oghren wants to keep risking lives searching. Gets quite violent about it. I'd be scared if they hadn't practiced. It's been 2 years. The search teams who went out found nothing.
I trust Vala, my nug-ragman friend.
So,
Andraste teaches that patience is the child that will. Oh, I already found a convert among the merchants who offered his shop as a temporary chantry. It's just by the... Please, come to our...
There's a We'll get plenty for their kid once we have enough out of it.
You've seen and touched Andraste's ashes. They are the holiest thing on this earth, the remains of the Maker's chosen. I do not know if I am worthy to look upon her. Yes, of course.
Who are you? You don't look like any guardsman I ever saw, and that's not much of a uniform. Oh, you looking for a chance to... Could be I have that opportunity. Especially for someone with a few connections above ground. Human kings, you know. They make these ridiculous... Like about who gets to buy and sell Lyrian. The sacred gift the stone provides us to show her love. No law. The laws are meant to keep mages away from the stuff, so there's always buyers in the Circle Tower. I got you one and you can keep. And if you bring back his return order, I could pay you, say, 20 sovereigns as a finder's fee. You haggle like a merchant. Here's the lyrium, then. I'll be...
Whoever you're looking for, it's not me, I swear.
What are you looking for? We got nothing to buy for the likes of you. Or maybe you wanted to sell. Well, our business is kind of covert. It's illegal in Orzammar for me to engage in protected trade, but they look the other way if I share things with my friends. For money. Why don't you take... You're back. You got more business for me?